This is Mongolian Mindset, and today me and Christian are going to be talking about the child function, the third function. We're going to be giving some stories and how we see it and how it has impacted our lives. As an ENTJ, my child function is SE. So you'll see a lot about SE child, and Christians is NI. So we actually help each other. That's why we've always had a pretty good fucking team because we kind of parent each other's child functions. So we'll get into like what the overall like child function is. We recommend you guys pick up Carol Shoemake's book. Um, uh, but we'll get into like our stories first, and then we'll get into like the descriptions of like the child function. So for me, mine is SE child. I can remember a distinct story where I lost a lot of money and three days in the hospital. So what happens is I have a tendency to like work out too hard and not understand like, hey, you should dial it back. Um, so what ended up happening was I was doing my clinicals in college. I was working out. I was going out with the boys. See, this is shit where this is like you're doing too much. But when you have the child function, you're very naive to what you're actually doing. So I was doing clinicals 40 hours a week. I was working out crazy as fuck. And I was going out drinking. And then I went, did a leg day with Christian, and all of a sudden my body wouldn't move. I'm not even fucking kidding you. I'm looking at Christian. I'm like, Christian, bro, I can't move. He's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna go get you a Gatorade. Right?
So let me provide some context. So before this happened, me and Mercer were doing a routine called the Ferrigno workout. Now, these routines are like classic bodybuilder style workouts that are like 3 hours, like from the
You
Arnold
need
era.
steroids.
Right?
You need steroids to do those workouts, and we were not on any of that shit. So
Yeah, so we were like completely natural and we were doing these routines. So the Ferrigno, like we fulfilled it to completion. Crazy workout, right? So then we try to step it up and do the Arnold. Now, the Arnold was just too much for us, right? Like it was just like too crazy and we didn't
too many
complete it. So
reps,
then
too many reps, too many
too
reps.
many reps, too much time in the gym, it was just not sustainable.
I mean, we were in there for
Then
like
like
I have us documented on a video. We were in the gym for 6 fucking hours, one fucking workout, chest and back day.
yeah. So then it's like we try to take a period of time where we were kind of dialing it back. And then one day, like Mercer decided to go, like he wasn't feeling too well, but I was kind of egging him on to ramp up the intensity a little bit. And then all of a sudden, his face went like, like he had like this blank stare in his face, and he's like, Christian, I can't move. I can't move. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? I'm just gonna get you Gatorade. Stop being a pussy, man. We gotta work out. He's like, no, man, I can't fucking move, right? So now I know it's serious. So then, like, all of a sudden, Mercy's like, you gotta take me to the hospital. I'm like, are you serious, bro? Like, I gotta take you to the hospital. It's like, yeah, bro. And then his like muscles started shaking. I was like,
Spasming.
fuck.
All of my muscles just start spasming. Like,
So then I take him to the car, and like he can't move, so I can't get him out the car. And because he's so heavy, it's not like I can pick him up. So I have to go get a wheelchair for this man, right? So we put him on the wheelchair and we wheel him into the hospital. And when they take his blood results for CK, like basically all his muscles were like being damaged at the same time in his body. It's just crazy.
so what
That's
happens
rhabdomyolysis.
with the CK is like whenever you do when you work out, your muscles release a toxin called creatine kinase. Okay. You need a lot of water and things like that to actually flush that system because the toxins will keep building. And if you keep working out and keep working out, you keep dumping in toxins in there. And then that causes you to have a problem and you can actually get kidney failure from that or whatnot. So these motherfuckers I was in the hospital for 3 days, 3 days. And during that time, these motherfuckers, him and my brother, I told you, two pieces of shits, came to the hospital and they actually made fun of me in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm in there, and like this is a very shitty like period of my life where I was like, there's no difference between jail and the hospital. There's no difference. I was sitting there like, there's no difference. Like, I got this goddamn IV in my arm. They flushing me fluids. So every fucking 20 minutes, I got to take this shit and take this long ass shit all the way to the fucking bathroom and take a piss, and then come back, get in the bed, and then do it all over again for 3 fucking days. I was going fucking crazy. And
Yeah,
then
and the
like,
and the doctors are freaking out, telling him like, "Yo, this is super dangerous. You can't leave." Da, da, da. So he was in bed for like 3 days, and we would go visit him and laugh at him because I told you our group is crazy. Like
yeah, yeah.
people, I swear, some people when they see us like interact, they're like, "Do you guys even like each other?" And it's like it's all cool, but it's like, we just talk so much shit.
We catch you slip up just a tiny bit, like we're on your ass. Like that's just who we are. It's like that's why you think this group is called the Mongolian Mindset. Like you slip up just a tiny bit, we're on your ass. So him and my brother coming there, they're just fucking laughing at me. I got a nasty ass 3,000, I think it was like $3,000 hospital bill. That fuck that shit. I didn't pay it. Fuck them. They kissed my ass. Um, that should ding my credit for so long. I swear to God, I should ding my credit for so long. But that is an SE child to SE trickster. So what happens is because of SE child, you get SI trickster consequences. So that is what landed me in the hospital for 3 days, $3,000 bill. Me scratching my head like never doing this again. And what me and Christian talk about the child function is you have to like what happens is you got to get dinged. Like you get dinged by life from that bitch so much that you slowly but surely kind of like figure out like methods or whatnot or something that you can possibly do to help. I for me personally, I have asked Christian, I have a box of 100 Pedialytes at all times. If I feel my body feeling any type of way, I swear to God, I drink that Pedialyte because I don't want that shit happening again. Or like now I'm off for like a month, and I'm like Christian, bro, I'm about to hit the gym twice a day, and then my dumb ass went in there and did legs one day and then back, and I told Christian, he's like, your dumb ass about to get rhabdo again. Next
Yeah,
day
and
I woke up.
of course, me, the voice of reason, I tell him like, bro, stop being an idiot. Like, why are you doing that twice a day, every day? Like at least, like even keep it to just one day. But he wants to do it every day. It's like he used to have this routine where it's called the streak, where he goes to the gym every day without a rest day for like the whole year. And he
Dude,
had like,
I had the streak. So he's talking about this. So I went to the gym for 7 days a week, 2 hours a day for over 210 days straight.
yeah,
And I've
yeah.
done that and that streak. I have a streak behind that's like 205 days. So it's just like
And
SC
the thing
is like
is, the thing about Mercer is that like otherwise, Mercer obviously is like very intelligent, and he's a medical scientist, so he should know better. He should know, but it's just like this is just something that he just wants to do. I say like when it comes to the gym, it's like it's the only thing where I think he's like being stupid, like on purpose though. You know what I mean? Like for everything else, he's intelligent, but for the gym, he just does the stupidest, like most challenging thing for no reason. And like for a while, it's like I was participating in that because we used to work out together. And honestly, it is kind of intoxicating to just go to the gym and go balls to the wall till you drop. Like, because I mean, like I said before, we've come from wrestling and like other sports and stuff like that. So it like plays to the ego to do it. But I tell him all the time, like, bro, you don't gotta do all that. Like, you
you
can
got
get
a
the same
parent, a
results or even
child.
probably
Like
better a different way. But he just doesn't want to do it.
I
So
don't know, just like you said, it's just like it's just like a fucking drug, dude. It's crazy. I mean, they should probably fucking change the child function to crack cocaine, bro. Because like, bro, you get a little bit of that shit, you want a little bit more. You want a little bit more. You want a little bit more, and then like, like you really need that parent function to step in and say, listen here, Mercer, if you want the future that you want, you can't destroy your body by just going and going and going and going and going and going. Something's gonna give, and you're not gonna be there. You don't want to be that ENTJ who has a heart attack at X amount of age or anything like that. Um, so you really, really gotta like dial that in. But me and Christian talk about is like you really got to get that child function under control. You really got to get it under control because it feels good, but it brings the highs and the lows of life. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it feels
Yeah, it
good to
brings.
be in the gym and beasting and doing all this shit.
Mhm.
But when I'm in the hospital for 3 days, getting a fucking $3,000 fucking uh hospital bill, it's like, oh shit, like this shit ain't worth it, you know. So it's like the highs and lows, but you feel susceptible to just keep doing it. Even when it comes to just like a lot of things, like entjs can just go, 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 go to the point that like I have an infp best friend. She's always worried. Oh, I think you need to slow down. Or, oh, you okay? Like, you know, and it's just because it's just because you know I'll go from TE to SE, TE to SE, TE to SE, get it done, get it done. Production, stuff like that. Christian, on the other hand, here's NI child. He's got a good little funny story about this.
Yeah, so I mean, in a child, basically, I have a lot of stories that I could tell. I'm gonna tell probably like I'm gonna tell like two. I'm gonna start with the one at UCF. So like UCF is the university I went to, University of Central Florida, right? And when I get there, it's like you open up all these like possibilities of what you can explore. So there's like the parties, there's the sports, the amazing gym, the pool. But obviously, I have to study as well and try to get good grades, right? But like all the things that were available to me were just so overwhelming, and I was taking advantage of so many things that I was like running too thin, and I wasn't doing like good at school at all. Okay, so like the consequences for that is like I think my first year at UCF I got put on academic probation because my GPA was so bad that
You just
that
wanted to keep
I
doing
almost
shit.
got kicked out of school, and so I had to get that under control, right? But the problem is like it's just so much coming at you. Like, for example, like the parties and stuff. Like I was going to the fraternity parties. I wasn't part of the fraternity, but I had, connections here and there. And so like, and I wanted to play sports all day. So I was playing sports all day and going to parties and stuff like that and trying to go to class at the same time. It wasn't working, right? So then one of these days where I was like, I went to the track in the morning to run, and then like late at night there was a party. So I went to the party and I drank way, 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 way too much, right? And so like I drank so much, I woke up hungover, but I still had class, right? So I'm like, man, do I go to the class? Do I go to class? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go, right? So I leave and I have this genius idea. It's like, oh, let me just go get a mango smoothie to get rid of the hangover, right? So I drink the mango smoothie. I go to the class, everything's fine. I'm walking through the library because it's the fastest way to get from one spot to another, right? And there's air conditioning. It's hot as hell. All of a sudden, I see a friend, right? And he stops and starts talking to me, and we're talking and we're talking. And the dude just like he talks a lot, so he just talking like a mile a minute for a long time. All of a sudden,
Probably a form of
I
initiating.
start getting lightheaded, right? I'm like, oh shit, what's going on, right? So I like sit down for a second, and all of a sudden I'm waking up. I had just passed out in the middle of a library at UCF, which is like one of the most heavily populated universities in the country, right? So I got all these people around me. I'm passed out. The dude who was talking to me was like cradling my head. So I feel like I'm like, oh shit,
You know,
right?
God busting your ass, huh?
So then the paramedics show up. The paramedics show up and they're like, okay, we're gonna hook you to the machine, see what's going on. Right? They tell me to stand up. As soon as I stand up, the machine start beeping. I'm out. I'm in the beep, 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 beep. Then I no, lie down, lie down, lie down. I was about to pass out again, right? So I had to call in a stretcher. They took me on a stretcher and took me to the hospital. Same thing with Mercer. So then now I got this hospital bill on my head, and I'm in the hospital feeling like a bitch, you know. And then funny enough, right? So they pump me full of fluids, full of fluids, and then they let me go, right? So I go back to the university. Guess what? I had these friends who used to play volleyball like every day, and I used to play volleyball every day too. So I was partying, playing volleyball, going to the gym, doing all this shit, right? So they call me up. They're like, "Yo, you want to play volleyball?" Blah, blah. Bro, I went to go play volleyball. after I had passed out, I went to the hospital that same day. I went to go play, and I still had the stickers from the paramedics machine on me. I was crazy. So like at a young age, my ability to like want to go do stuff was like on overdrive. It was like I couldn't even control it. You know, that's how bad it could get. And the thing is, like we were saying, a lot of that stuff is involuntary, right? The inner child aspect of your personality is involuntary. Like you almost can't control it, but you just gotta get hit by life a couple times for you to dial that shit back down, because it's like the consequences could be really bad, especially for people like us that are kind of extreme. You know, like Mercer and I'm not as extreme as Mercer, but I'm on that level. You know, like when Mercer says to go do some crazy stuff, I tend to go do it. You know what I mean? Like I might complain about it, but I go
Yeah, you
do
gotta
it too.
complain
You
about
know,
it.
so we're kind of extreme personalities, and the child function can go crazy in those situations. So you got to be careful. Yeah.
You really got to watch out. I mean, Christian was, like he said, his child and I, it's all about what he wants in a childish version with all these possibilities. He's just going like a crackhead, just going, just partaking in everything. And then over time, he gets overloaded. And I think the
Yeah. I
funniest
mean,
thing,
I remember back in the day, Mercer used to complain because I would say I would promise to do too many things. You
yeah,
remember that? Because we
yeah.
used to be roommates, and I used to tell people like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this and that and that and that." And then when the time came, it's like, bro, you can't do all of that stuff. You
I used to
can't. You
tell
just
my
can't
NI
do it.
parent used to tell him that all the time. Like, bro, why the fuck you tell people you gonna do all this shit when you know you can't fucking do it? So, oh well, bro, I don't know, bro. And that's another thing that Carol Schumann talks in this book is that the child function over promises,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
over promises.
It's
And so
like
that's
very, it's almost like
naive,
childishly optimistic. It's like, of
optimistic.
course, of course I could be an astronaut and the president of the United States. You know what I mean? That's what a child would say. It's almost like that. It's almost like, of course I could go to the parties, study, go to the gym, run track, and play volleyball and do all this stuff. You know, why not? You know, that's kind of how I was behaving at the time. So
I think the funniest story is your Bitcoin story, man. Ah, boy,
okay.
this right here. He was so
So
ashamed he didn't tell me for years.
okay, so another story I could tell. I I'm gonna start by saying this. There was a point in my time in my life where I was $70,000 worth. I had $70,000 worth of debt on my head, right? And it was because when you add up, right, I had the student loan and I had my car. My car had broke down, and I had bought a Audi. Right now, I could have bought a cheaper car, but I just bought an Audi because I wanted it. That's another example of like, well, you
Childish
shouldn't.
NI.
And then it was about 2016, 2017 when like the first, I wouldn't say the first, but one of the first Bitcoin crazes was going on, right? And we were heavily like into investing and stuff like that. But I just saw all this opportunity in the crypto space, right?
Didn't see no
Now
doubt.
I was new at investing, so I was like completely like naive, right? So I thought, oh, if I just put 10,000 into this, into Bitcoin or whatever, then I could double it and just like pay my car loan off, right? That's what I was thinking. So you know
Optimistic.
what I did? I had $10,000 in the bank, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna put $10,000 of my own money into here, right? Like that's not what I'm gonna do. So what I did is I took out $10,000 in a personal loan. I took out $10,000 and now I had 20K. I took the 10K and I just dumped it into crypto like a dumbass, right? Instead of like just buying crypto over the, like dollar cost averaging, basically. I just said, you
I'm
know what?
pretty sure
Fuck it.
we talked about it before he did it, and I told him don't do this. I'm pretty sure I told him don't do this shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why he didn't tell me
So
about it.
so I dumped like 10K into crypto at the time, and like a dumbass, right? I still had my 10K in the bank and I had 10K in crypto. And then of course it was 2017 during the craze. You never buy during the craze. So the shit crashed, obviously. You know? The shit crashed. So now I got the $27,500 car loan that I just got. I have the $36,000 or so student loan debt. I got the $10,000 uh personal loan on my
From
head,
NI
right? So
child.
now So now I'm freaking out. Now I'm like, okay, I might have fucked up, right? So then at the time I'm living with Mercer, and Mercer can't tell a
Bro,
goddamn thing.
I can't tell nothing, bro. The boy don't have. He got FI demon, bro. There's no emotions on the boy's face. I'm
So
like,
like he
I
don't
ain't
know
think
that I'm
nothing. I don't know nothing because
inside.
he ain't bold enough to tell me because I would have called him an idiot. Like, bro, you can't
Right.
be this stupid. Like, that's way too reckless.
Right. So inside I'm freaking out, but Mercer don't know a goddamn thing, right? So then what do? I buy $350 pair of shoes, the Jordans. Actually, I got them right here. Hold on.
Oh my god, man. Fucking that child, bro.
So I buy these, right?
To make
I
yourself
buy
feel good.
these because
You wanted the relief from NI child.
I wanted the relief because I felt so stressed out. I was like, fuck it, I gotta do something, right? So I buy the $350 pair of shoes. And Mercer's like, what the hell? Because at the time, buying $350 pair of shoes was crazy to Mercer, right? This is when we started our career.
And then this boy wonders why I have nightmares about how reckless he is. And then he likes to say, bro, I ain't even that reckless, bro. Like, bro, you're crazy as fuck.
Yeah, but that was younger me. I just gotta say, all of that debt is paid now, you know. I'm basically debt free. So it was just things along the way that I had to learn and stuff like that. But I mean, it's 70K. 70K would have been good to have in my pocket, you know. You know what I mean?
I
So
mean,
sometimes you pay heavy for your
yeah,
mistakes.
the
Yeah.
child functioning. But yeah. I mean, the thing about it is it feels so fucking good. But then, boy, when that bitch fail, boy, you feel lowest doing lower than low. When I was in the hospital and these motherfuckers coming here laughing, my brother shaking on the wall and shit. I'm like, bro. I mean, I even felt even worse when I got that bill back, you know. I'm like, fuck that shit. I ain't paying that shit. Fuck out of here, man. They do what you bitches gonna do. But
Are you sure? You sure you
uh,
want to say that?
hey man, it is what it is, bro. We are 100% authentic with the people. Um,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
fine.
I mean, it dinged my
Hey,
credit quite a
I just
bit.
gotta say, I never paid the ambulance fee from when I passed out at UCF because I was a broke college student. I didn't have $1 to my name.
I
I
was
probably
broke
had
then
negative,
too, so I said, fuck it, I wasn't paying them.
bro. I probably had negative dollars in my bank account at the time. There was nothing to give, so I don't know where that went. I don't know who paid that bill, but it wasn't me.
It was a
Okay.
write off. You know what they do? You know it's a tax write off for them motherfuckers. They just tax write off, and then the collectors come in and buy for a fraction of it, and then they come hound you, hound these nuts. Okay. Uh, but yeah, I
All right,
mean,
so Mercer, how do you think we could get the NI or not the NI child, the child function under control, regardless of the type? Because obviously we talked about
all right.
ours, but
Okay. So regardless of the type, you got to understand that the child function is on the axis with the parent function. Okay. So the more you use the child function, the less you use your parent function. So what you want to do is take a more responsible role in your life. Okay, and that's going to allow you to work on your parent function, and it's going to minimize the usage of the child function because it's a very unreliable function, and we think it's a lot better than it is. Okay, for some reason we have the attitude that it's like the parent function, but it's fucking not. Okay, so you want to maybe use your child function on the weekends, or
mm,
like figure out a way to schedule it in, like Christian would say, in a safe space
mm,
to where like there's not a maximum downside, like where you can kind of calculate with how bad a downside would be. Um, you just gotta also have friends, like friends that'll check you on it. Like you got, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. Like when I call Christian the other day and I'm coming up, like, yo, bro, I'm gonna hit the gym twice a day, blah blah blah. And I call Christian, I'm like, bro, I did all that and I did 5 miles. And Christian's like, bro, you're gonna end up in the hospital. As soon as he said that shit, my vision went right back to that damn hospital bed, and I just said, "Oh shit, let me back my ass up. Let me slow it down. Let me go in there and drink a Pedialyte while I'm talking about it. Let me go ahead and take a Pedialyte, and
mm.
but that allows you to slow down because if you keep going, then you're gonna face those consequences again, and you're gonna burn out.
Yeah, for me, I would say like put buffers in between your wants, like specific to me, right? So like let's say if I wanted to do something similar, right? Like the whole personal loan on crypto thing, which I wouldn't do now, but I'm just saying, let's say if I felt the inclination to do something like that, then first I would go to Ali and Mercer. Let's say I would call them up, and be like, hey, I got this idea. What do you think about it? And then say, no, that's fucking stupid. Don't do that. I was like, okay, let me slow down. Let me slow down. Like have some checks and balances for those things, but also, like Mercer said, allow space for you to fulfill that need somewhere else. So, like nowadays, if I wanted to, let's say, do too much, like or do a lot of activities, then I would schedule them accordingly. I wouldn't just pack it all into like randomly into a day or whatever, because I know it's gonna infiltrate into like the things that I have to do. So it's like Mercer said, like put a safe space for you to do those things. Or let's say if I wanted to like blow money or whatever, I would set an amount, right? An amount. Okay, you're gonna blow this amount of money, right? And then that amount you could do whatever you want with it. So it's gonna feel like you're blowing money, but really you're not. It's like,
Yeah.
You're planning for it. So
Yeah, you
that's what I would
got
do now.
you
Yeah.
got to get like there's been other videos where I've joked around saying lock the little motherfucker up. I've been so extreme because I'm a very extreme person, and like I'll say shit like lock the child up, just lock that son bitch up. The life would be so much better if you just put that little motherfucker in prison. But at the same time, you'll be a lot sadder over time. Uh, but when in doubt,
Or
lock the
e-
motherfucker up.
even
Lock his
worse,
ass up.
even worse than being sadder, you might relapse 2 or 3 times harder.
Yeah,
That's what you don't want. You don't want to just repress everything that you want, because eventually that thing is gonna break loose and it's gonna come back 2 or 3 times harder. Like back in the day, like we used to have an alter ego name for me,
Christian.
like
Yeah,
because in a lot of ways I was repressing certain aspects of my personality, so it will come out at certain spots, right? So we would call this alter ego Richard Parker. Like if anyone has seen the movie Life of Pi, I don't want to spoil the movie, but there's a tiger in the movie, right? It's a little kid and a tiger in a boat. The tiger is called Richard Parker, and it's a symbolism for his inner animal, or his inner, like like he has his super ego, and the id, like what you want to do, and like when you can act aggressive and stuff like that. That was the tiger version of him. So like Richard Parker, and that's what we used to call my alter ego, because in a lot of ways I was repressing my personality, and it would come out 2 or 3 times more aggressively, like when I was either drinking or going out, you know. And that's what you don't want to do. You kind of want to integrate that aspect of your personality into yourself and allow it space to live. You don't want to repress it, because when you do, it'll come to bite you 2 or 3 times harder, I think.
yeah. I mean, you just like Christian said, like you kind of want the child function. Um, like life's gonna hit you with it, but you just don't want it to hit you so bad that you lose everything, or that you find yourself in places where you've lost too much. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
for me, like with the SC child, you want to make sure like there's times where I just go 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 go, and then like I don't know where like I wake up and my body like it's like fucking dead, and then it takes me like and then I'm down like 3 days. I'm down like 3 or 4 days, and it's like I got to get through work with those 3 or 4 days. My body feel like it's overheating and shit. Um, but like you can go about that in a safer manner. You know, you say, okay, like some people will notice like when I was working, I worked 12 hours. I'm also going to the gym 2 hours. I'm also putting up content. That's another 2 hours. So you're talking about 12, 14, 16 hours. And that's 4 days back to back to back, plus answering messages, comments, all this other shit. You're talking about the amount of sleep that I'm getting in those days. It's just minimum. And you just can't keep doing that for the long term because you're gonna pay for it. So I suggest, looking at a long-term perspective of things for myself, like looking at it from a long-term perspective. Okay. From the future perspective, okay, I got to slow down because I actually want to be able to enjoy the shit that I'm doing. I actually want to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. And at the pace that sometimes ENTJs go at, they're not going to be able to actually enjoy the fruits of their labor. You see a lot of them be workaholics, and end up with like heart attacks. I know Jerry's ENFJ. The motherfuckers already had a heart attack before he was like 28, out there with garbage bags, playing football. You remember he had the garbage bag suit? Did you hear the story about Jerry with the garbage bag suit in the hottest day in Florida? Huh?
Wait, who had that?
Jerry. Jerry.
Jerry, our friend
Jerry already
Jerry?
had a, you know Jerry had a heart attack?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I had no,
yeah, yeah.
I had no
I
idea.
hate to laugh, but motherfucker out there in the hottest day, in the hottest day in Florida with a garbage bag suit on trying to lose weight.
Mm,
Boy,
mm,
boy, 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 boy.
mm, mm, mm.
So yeah, Stafford had a heart attack too, and he ENFJ too. And Stafford said he had the shit before he was 30. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Boy, and he was ramping it up now. He just posted today, or I'm back on the tour days. I sent him a message, boy, you better watch out for SI Trickster. Straight up. I like, you better watch out, boy. Trying to ramp it up, you're gonna ramp your ass down. Um, but like we said, you have to get control over it. If you gotta lock the little motherfucker up, lock the little motherfucker up. Okay. If you have to, man, if you have to, you gotta lock them up. You gotta lock them up because it's times where you'll see INTJs go on a little FI child rant, and then 2 seconds later they're fucking crying and shit. Or you'll see like I said with the ENTJs, you'll see them like doing shit, and then like all of a sudden they're crying and shit. It's like, bro, you better get that shit under control. Or don't let that shit blow up your life. Do not let it blow up your life.
I can't. Sometimes you gotta do extreme stuff because I moved to Puerto Rico, bro. I moved to Puerto Rico, left all my friends, my girlfriend at the time, everybody, just so I could just focus on like studying and graduating. If I wouldn't have done that, who knows? Because it's like I said, like I was just trying to do too much at one time. You know what I mean? And it's like I was controlling it. Like I was getting better over time, but it's like you said, it's like sometimes you could put yourself in a position where it's hard to get back from. Like if you just let it like run wild, even if you're trying to control it, sometimes you just can't, and you just got to put yourself in a position to win. And sometimes maybe Mercer's right. Maybe you have to lock the little motherfucker up for a little bit, until you get to a spot in life where it's like, okay, now I've achieved this much. I can let it run a little bit freer.
And you can tell the difference in somebody who has an active parent function because the ones that don't, they come off very childish, come off very, very childish. Okay, opposed to like the other versions of themselves that are actually mature. They come off very childish. So always think about that. Do you want to stay the childish version of yourself because the child stops you from actually maturing as a person? Okay. Um, so, Chris, you got any last things you want to say?
I guess we need to do a follow-up video about developing the parent
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah, I would be very interested because I'm pretty sure we've done that, but I haven't really thought about how we've done that. So if we could put the ideas together, we could do a follow-up video of how to develop the parent function after I get my ideas together. Because right now
It's pretty.
I need,
I feel
I
like
need to
it
start.
depends on the period of time in your life. A lot of times you just like for me, I feel like I had anti-parent very early on in life because I just looked at my life, looked at how poor we were, looked at the circumstances, and I said, "Oh my God, I need to be perfect to get to where I want to be in life. The future that I want, I damn near got to walk across a tightrope." I knew that shit at like 5 years fucking old. So like a lot of people like depending on where they're at in life and how their life is and how the parents they have, they might enter their parent development a lot earlier or later.
Hmm. I think in a lot of ways, I guess I could just fast forward. We could talk about it now. In a lot of ways, I was
Save it.
childish for a long time because my mother was trying to take on responsibilities that were supposed to be mine. You know, like
He's in our hero.
she was trying to control my outcome so hard that she wouldn't let me mature, because I noticed, like, once I got her out the way, like once I graduated, right? And then she was like basically out from taking on responsibility for me, which, like, she did it willingly. It's like, obviously, like when you're a teenager, you kind of go through life as you go, you know, it's like you don't really know what you're doing. And I didn't realize this, but she was like inhibiting my growth by being so like
Tell him
trying
what
to
to do.
control my outcome, you know. But once she was out of the picture and I was like my own person, I matured like that. It didn't take long, you know. It took like maybe a year or two, and I was there. You know, I was on it. But yeah, so I think like in
I
some
think
ways, like your parents could prevent you from growing too. Like if a certain type of, because like if like Mercer said, like Mercer's mom was a lot more hands off, so there was more responsibility on him to grow, and he knew if I don't do this by myself, I'm not gonna get anywhere, you know. So I had kind of like the opposite experience.
so.
Like
Like
my
Christian,
mom was very hands on and a little too much hands on, you know.
his mom's
So
an intj, so she's an ni hero. So ni hero or ni child, so that could block him from actually developing his own ni child. So when he got that freedom, he's just like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want this, and he went crazy with his child function. Got hit with the consequences, learned over time, and now he's a lot better.
yeah, luckily I had,
Version of
even
him.
though I can admit that I was immature, I had a lot of things going for me in other aspects, like as far as being observant, ability to learn, critical thinking, stuff like that. That helped me. Like because there's people that get hit by life and they don't learn anything from it. They just keep making the same mistakes. I was getting hit and learning. I was like, okay, if I do this, okay, let's not do that again.
A,
Okay, you
a
know.
big thing is though, like I tell people, like our group, like me, my brother, Christian, Jared, all dominant guys. Like if you had to look at the Dario Nardi thing, every one of our personality types are in the dominant range. Okay. We don't play you fucking up, because if you fucking up, we're gonna look at you like, bro, you're a failure. Like we will call you a failure quick. And then you got to go back to the drawing board and shut one of us up. And there's times where people, like, they will ride you for days. I'll never forget. Jared's rolled me so bad with one time with just talking to girls that I was so mad that he still talks about this shit to this fucking day, and it enrages me. And that's what really started my whole, like, devouring so much information on how to talk to women, how to approach women, what's the best way to do this, um, how to increase this, how to do that. And it was because those motherfuckers are talking so much fucking shit. I was like, I
There's
don't know who
certain
they think
things.
they talking to, but we're gonna
There's,
revisit that.
there's certain things that Larry said that I can't even repeat on here because it's a little too embarrassing.
Well, my brother, yeah, like he's an ENTP man. Sometimes he just says some shit he shouldn't fucking say, bro. Straight up, he just says some shit. And then he's like, "Oh shit," like, I don't know. He's got some weird justification why he said it. Doesn't take no accountability for what he said, but it is what it is. But that helps us grow as people because we're radically transparent with each other. If you fucking
Mhm.
up, I'm gonna tell you fucking up. If I'm fucking up, Christian gonna tell me I'm fucking up. My brother gonna tell me I'm fucking up. Oh, bro, you doing this wrong, and did you think about this? It's like, oh shit, oh, fuck. And like people
Yeah, and then
ask me, like,
sometimes when we get around other people, they don't have that
yeah,
same thing, like same thick skin or ability to receive criticism. So it's like it comes across as we're just being mean to them, you know.
I I
But
I,
like that's just
I
go
can
ahead, go
see
ahead.
this fucking for a fact. Being around these motherfuckers, I could walk down the street and go check my mail in my boxes. That's how, like, confident you have to be about yourself being around these fuckers. Because if you don't, bad things happen. When it came to logical arguments, you had to be on your toes. When it came to anything, you had to be on your shit. That's why people ask me, like, yo, how is your TI so good? It's because I was around these motherfuckers. I think all of them are all TI users. So
Yeah.
I'm the one who threw the book at them. Hey, this the book. This is what the book say. And we get in debates over and over and over. I mean, like, if we in a room with each other, it's gonna be a debate about something. And you got to know your stuff. You have to know your stuff. But as a person and as in development wise, you can't get nothing better than that. And all of us love the challenge. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's almost like if we're not being challenged, it's like we don't want it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like we run towards the challenge.
So you looking? Uh, but hey guys, this was a great video. We'll be back with more of these breakdowns. This was the child function, and we hope you guys learned something. Lock the little motherfucker up if you have to. Highly recommend you guys pick up Carol Shoemaker's book. But Chris, you got anything you want to say?
No, I think this is a good one. I think we touched on a lot of stuff, and watch out for those consequences. But just know you're not gonna be perfect. Just know that you are going to mess up here and there. Just make sure you learn from your mistakes. You just don't keep going through life making the same mistakes and staying the same.
And if in doubt, when in doubt, lock the little bitch in the cage. Okay, lock the little bitch in the cage. But this Mongolian mindset, guys, and we are out.